Oh yeah, we're talking about Viking Battle for Asgard today. This is just one of them games. Like, I've heard a lot of people recently talk about, like, on TikTok and stuff, talk about cousin games. And I feel like this was the game that I had that was the cousin game to my cousins. Like, I loved this game. I thought this game was awesome. And going back to play it, it's so fun. Like, it genuinely is a very well put together game, which I was quite surprised about, and very hard, like surprisingly hard. But what is a Viking Battle for Asgard? So, Viking Battle for Asgard is an action adventure game released in 2008 and made by Creative Assembly, the same people that do the Total War series, and that is very obvious in certain points of the game. The game is very heavily centered around Norse mythology, where you play as Skarin. I don't know if you're pronouncing his name right. Skarin. Everyone seems to pronounce it differently in the game as well. Who is chosen by Freya to be her champion against the forces of the goddess of death, Hel, not played by Kate Blanchett in this. And overall, it's really good. It's a very gory game. Like underestimated how gory it was. I feel like I had some like sort of, I don't even know how to explain it, some sort of like mind blank as to how gory it was, or I was just that desensitized to it back in. But it is rated 18 in Europe, so I don't know what that is in America, so it's about as gory as you'd think. You can like tear people up, like cutting off limbs, cutting off heads, crushing skulls. You can do the whole thing, and you kind of just play as like this barbarian Viking, if you will, type. But no, in that sense, I mean, like, you are literally playing it as like a barbarian type person that you would find in a D&D game who has a little bit of stealth. These are the stealth sections. The stealth sections comprise of sneak up, stab someone, everyone knows where you are, rip everyone to shreds. Pretty good. And you have this like massive map that you have to go around, do different objectives in, and build up forces to take on like a stronghold or a castle or something like that. If I remember correctly, there are like 3 or 4 islands throughout the entire game, and that's, you go through all of them. There's some dragons at some point, which is pretty cool. You just awaken some dragons for these big fights, and that's where I said that the it's very obviously made by Creative Assembly, because they have these huge battles in this game, which are very, very impressive with how many characters they have on the screen at once. When I was doing research to this game, I found out something quite interesting. This is actually a spiritual successor to Spartan Total Warrior, which was a game I previously talked about before, also made by Creative Assembly, and this is just another version of that. Originally it was going to be called Viking Total Warrior, and they changed it at the last minute to Viking Battle of Asgard. Well, that's something I learned today. There are a few like RPG elements to the game as well, where you can sort of like build by better combos, more health, things like that, but it's very, very standard. It's very much like a like the most basic RPG mechanics you can ever think of. But I absolutely love this game. I've said it before in this video already. This game is so fun. It is like, it's just so good just to tear through enemies, and it's not like impossibly hard, but it is like quite hard. Some of the bits is like, it starts you off quite well, and as you go throughout the game it gets harder and harder and harder. There are some like legitimately stupid fights in this game that you cannot fight through, and you have to use some sort of like tactics or magic or weird like background things to it. The parry or like dodge mechanic in this game is a bit floaty, and you will get hit quite a bit, as well as the game not telling you how to defeat certain enemies like people with shields. It doesn't actually tell you what you should be doing other than just hitting them as much as possible. But I still had a lot of fun replaying this game, like a lot of fun. It is a great game. I would highly recommend this. You can actually get this now on or it was re-released on Steam in like about 10 years ago, so you can get it on Steam, but if that, you can get it on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. So I really would like recommend getting this game, have a go, hunting it down if you can. The graphics are quite nice, but it does suffer from that early sort of 2000s, well, late 2000s Xbox 360, early Xbox 360 gloom effect, where everything's just a little bit weirdly shiny. I think that's just an Unreal Engine thing, if I'm completely honest, but it's pretty prevalent in these games. You're playing a game of the year, you kind of have to get used to that. I would also say the lighting in this game is quite annoying as well, mainly because different areas change depending on if they've been liberated from enemies or not. But overall, that's it. I pretty much love this game. I think it's one of my favourite, most nostalgic games to play. If you played this game, let me know in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this video, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because I'll be putting out plenty of retro gaming content over the next couple of weeks. Thank you so much for watching.